I guess what we want to know, what everyone wants to know right now as your shares rise this morning is, Niklas, how sticky is your service?
Well, so far we see very high stickiness, and both of the previous customers, but also those who came in during the COVID crisis. So right now things are looking good. We had a tough couple of weeks in the beginning of the COVID, but then towards the end of the quarter, growth has been accelerating, and that is still the case. Still optimistic.
Niklas, it's Emery here in London. Is there a knock-on effect if restaurants go under to your delivery service?
For sure. And we try to do what we can to help the ecosystem, and we have done a lot of initiatives here. We have supported restaurants and merchants in all sort of ways, and it costed us millions and millions. But I think we have gained a lot of trust, and I think we also helped a lot of restaurants to survive this crisis, and I think this will also help us and strengthen our service even more.
I wonder, as we watch you expand all over the world, I think Japan is next on your list here. What other regions have you got your eye on, Niklas? And which ones have you seen the most growth in so far?
So we want to be a global leader in the food delivery space. So we keep our eyes on every market. But at the same time, we have to be humble and realize that we cannot enter too many comparative fields at the same time. So we felt like now maybe the time is there for Japan, and that's why we're going in there. I think overall, general, we saw a very strong growth in the segments of Western Europe, Northern Europe. I think overall, COVID has been also very beneficial for North America and also South America for our sake. While Asia has not been impacted very much by COVID, but overall the growth is, of course, tremendous there with over 290% growth year on year, now being the largest of our regions. And then, of course, we have a still very strong business in Southern Europe and Middle East, but here we have seen a significant hit by the COVID, where we had a lot of curfews. Here we have taken a little bit of a hit, but things are now shaping up, and we're exiting those challenges in a good fashion.
Is the strategy, Niklas, because I know you're going to be closing this deal with your rival in South Korea, is the strategy then to become as big as possible to fend off potential takeover targets?
We want to be the leader in every market where we operate. And as I mentioned before, we want to be a global leader, but we have the size that is necessary now, and we don't have to grow further scale. We have enough scale to make profitability. We have further scale to winning the areas that we want to win when it comes to service, when it comes to product, but also when it comes to brand awareness and likability. So I think right now we don't necessarily do whatever it takes to acquire businesses. We've been a little bit more passive here and rather investing in our own service and own product. But correct, in Korea, we have partnered with Wua Brothers, a very strong food delivery platform, and I think together we'll build an even better service for the Korean market.
I mean, so the Wua deal, and I just wanted to have the opportunity to say Wua because it's quite fun, really helps you out in that segment. 56% of total orders came from Asia in the second quarter, and your growth there was 290%. You raised 1.5 billion euros in a convertible bond sale, Niklas. What are you going to use that cash for? I mean, you said it's for organic growth, so I guess you won't be using it to make any more takeovers, but are you building out your logistics? Are you looking to fend off competition through marketing? I mean, how do you use that money?
Yeah, so Asia has become our largest segment. I think if you would have asked me 1 year ago, or investors 1 year ago, they thought that this was a very bold move, what we've done in Asia, where we put a significant amount of money to scale that business. I think now investors start looking at Asia and realize that this starts to become very real. And when you grow with 290% of that scale, it starts to become a big business. In terms of our raise of the 1.5 billion convert, That is mainly to making sure that we have the firepower if need be. Some of it we will invest organically. We will also look at acquisition opportunities when they are the right ones. And then we will also keep some money to making sure that we have the firepower if need be. And we will have strong competition coming in.
So you'll use some of it organically, but if you see M&A opportunities, you can use that money for purchases as well, is what you're saying.
We will also look into that, and we constantly done it in the past. We will still do it in the future, but we will be very rational when it comes to economics, and it needs to add something to our business. It needs to add a product component. It needs to add a strong team. It needs to add something more than just size. Size is not really the aim what we're having now. More important that we build a good service, because we will have strong competition from many angles, both players in our industry, but we see the big giants like Google and Amazon and Alibaba. They want to go into every part of tech and use their advantage of having the volume, and I can only expect that will also happen to the food delivery industry. So we want to be ready, and we want to have the size to compete with these giants whenever they choose to.
Niklas, it'll be quite a big milestone for you. Will entry to the DAX affect business if you were to replace Wirecard on the index?
Not really. I don't know. Becoming a DAX company is, of course, very honorable, and we feel feel honored to be part there. But it's not really a goal. I don't know. We never set the goal that we want to be a DAX company. We set the goal to build the best possible service that we can possibly do for our customers. And being a DAX company is only a change in index, honorable, but nothing more really. And of course, it's not our choice. It's the choice of investors putting a big value on our shares and the trading volumes that come in. And we're probably close to get there, and let's see.